The wide receiver market is loaded with talent that can move the needle and help you prevail in fantasy this season, but some receivers are being drafted above their value. I'm here to tell you who they are and why you should avoid going after them in 2023. At number 5, we've got Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman has been through the ringer. The Colts have had a different quarterback in each of his first 3 years in the NFL, and it's spanned to further back than that, but this is how it impacts him. Phillip Rivers in 2020, Carson Wentz in 2021, and Matt Ryan in 2022. What do all 3 of those quarterbacks have in common? Other than the fact that they were all over the hill by the time the Colts signed them, they are all pocket passers. Anthony Richardson is not a pocket passer. He has a cannon, but he tucked it and ran 103 times in his last year at Florida. Now, if we look at the top 4 rushing quarterbacks from this season, it's Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. Let's take a look at these rushing quarterbacks in their first full year and see how the most productive wide receiver on the team did. This past year was Justin Fields' first full year with the starting job. He obviously ran more than anybody else, clearing 1,100 yards, but his top receiver, it was technically Darnell Mooney, who got hurt but was hardly averaging over 40 yards per game before going down, and Cole Kmet led the way with over 500 yards on the team. Now, that was the most run-heavy offense we have seen in a while, so let's keep going. Lamar Jackson's first full year was 2019, and he went off and was the league MVP. He ran a ton too, but he also threw for 3,127 yards. Not bad for a running back, right? His top receivers in his first full year, once again, a tight end leads the way in Mark Andrews with 826 yards, and then it was Marquise Brown. Let's go to Jalen Hurts. His first year as the Week 1 quarterback was 2021. He threw for over 3,100 yards, and his number 1 receiver, Devontae Smith, with 916 yards and 5 scores, the best of any wide receiver so far in this scenario. Now, I know what you're thinking. Corey, Jalen Hurts has A.J. Brown now, and he's still a running QB, right? Right. The Eagles sat back and watched Jalen Hurts develop for 2 years, saw significant improvement, and got him A.J. Brown. The Bills did the exact same thing in seeing 2 years of Josh Allen before going out and getting him Stephon Diggs. In Josh Allen's first year at the helm, though, he threw for just over 3,000 yards with 20 touchdowns. His top receiver? Cole Beasley with 778 yards and 6 scores. Middle of the road once again. Now, I did you all a favor. In our little study here, we have the 4 wide receiver ones I just mentioned and how they performed in the first full year of Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Josh Allen. Darnell Mooney was the worst case scenario. He got hurt, wasn't used much, and of course was in the worst passing offense the league has seen since the Cleveland Browns in 2009. Hollywood Brown did a bit better, but still barely cracked the top 50 in standard PPR during an MVP season for a quarterback with 36 passing touchdowns. Devontae Smith was the best case scenario, and even he was barely within the top 30, and Cole Beasley was wide receiver 33. These 4 make up an average of a wide receiver at the 44.75 ranking at the position, yet Pittman is being drafted around the 33 spot right now. Please tread lightly here. At number 4, we have Keenan Allen. From 2017 to 2021, Keenan Allen was a fantasy fan's best friend. He was averaging over 1,100 yards per game, guaranteed you at least 6 scores per season, and was consistently seeing 130 targets a year. He has Justin Herbert, who has the most passing yards of any quarterback through 3 seasons, but in the blink of an eye, this guy is already 31 years old. This isn't a deal breaker for everyone. Andre Johnson, Brandon Marshall, Donald Driver, and Terrell Owens, to name a few, have broken the 1,000-yard barrier rather easily at age 31, but Keenan Allen's got some competition. Joshua Palmer was Mr. Reliable last season. The 23-year-old was healthy for 16 of 17 games and led the team in targets with 113. Mike Williams missed out on 4 games, but he was the big downfield target for Justin Herbert even when everyone was healthy. He led all main receivers with 14.2 yards per reception. And Austin Eckler, he might just be the largest target threat yet. He led the team with 107 receptions and dominated in red zone touches. He led all players in the NFL with 64 of them. So where does this leave the 31-year-old? Even if he is healthy, a season after missing 7 games with various nagging injuries, he has to compete with a younger supporting cast that got plenty of experience last year, led by Joshua Palmer, a downfield target in Mike Williams, and a top receiving back in the entire league in Austin Eckler. Not to mention Gerald Everett did phenomenal as well. Number 3, it's Drake London. Drake London is just in a rough situation. He's in an offense that ran the ball at the 2nd highest rate of any team last year at 57%, and then Atlanta went out and got Bijan Robinson, one of the best prospects we have seen in the last decade, who also has a route tree himself. Then we can look over at the quarterback situation. Desmond Ridder played in 4 games last year, so we don't know too much about how his skills will transfer to the NFL yet, but he also runs the ball a lot. He ran 501 times over the course of 4 years at Cincinnati. And he better throw some dimes to London time and time again because Drake London doesn't have breakaway speed. He ran a 4.54 40-yard dash and has a speed score that wasn't anything to write home about. A lot is going to have to go Drake London's way to live up to the fact that he's being drafted as the 25th best wide receiver at the time of this recording. At number 2, we have Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is one of the riskiest players you could possibly draft. Having him on your bench is even dangerous because if you see that he puts up 20 points one week, which he has done on occasion, you'll be tempted to slot him as a starter the following week. Here is my issue with Gabe Davis. He and Josh Allen are not on the same page, and they take a ton of risks down the field. Davis has one of the worst catch percentages in the entire league. In his career, he has caught 118 out of 218 passes, in the mid-50s for percentage. So why would someone draft Gabe Davis in the first place? Performances like this. Josh Allen airs it out to this guy, and that's why his 17.4 yards per reception mark was near the top of the league last season, and that's why he continues to get attention. The consistency, though, that's the Achilles heel, and the lack of overall volume, considering he has averaged under 3 receptions per game in his career, that concerns me. Now at number 1, we have Deebo Samuel. I love Deebo Samuel. Do not get me wrong. The role he inhabited in San Francisco the last couple of years is just beyond rare. A top wide receiver who also gets in the backfield and mixes it up for a few rushes a game. An insane concept. But getting one of the best pass-catching backs of his generation in Christian McCaffrey on the same team neutralized Samuel's role last year. The proof is in the pudding. Samuel was averaging 3.8 rushes per game in the first half of the 2022 season, and then, when San Francisco went out and got CMC in late October, Samuel logged just 2.7 rushes per game throughout the remainder of the year. And out wide, the tides are changing. Brandon Ayuk was healthier and led the team in targets last year, and while Deebo had a better snaps per target ratio, Ayuk caught the ball at a much higher rate, beating Samuel out 68% to 59%. Ayuk had the 25th most amount of targets in the league last season, and he's found a way to get better each and every year as he heads into year 4, which is his prime. Not to mention George Kittle demanding an average of 90 targets per year. San Francisco is running rampant with talented skill position players to compete with him. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate every bit of your support. Drop any questions I was unable to answer in the comments section below. Leave a like and subscribe if this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, and we will see you in the next one.